Hello. I know it's dark. I'm back. I said I was going to do this video, hello, when I got home. Because somebody asked me a question. How are you? And you asked how to start a business while you're working. I'm just coming in from a long day. I'm a lady outside. I had started a business outside. And I keep saying, I'm going online, I'm going online, I'm going online. The first thing, if you want to start a business while you're working or period, you have to decide that you want to really do it. The reason why, and then do it. Look how long it took me to make this video. I'm just being honest because, see, I'm doing other things. So if you're trying to start a business and you're working, sometimes you get distracted. I'm outside most of the time, but I have a YouTube channel. Hey, I got 600 and something subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to get to 1,000, but maybe I will because you have to remind people. You have to remind people that you're still in business. I'm consistent outside, so people know me outside, but as far as getting on the video, so it's to make a point. You got to be consistent. Decide whether you want to really have a business and why. I decided that I was going to make this video tonight regardless, and the reason why is because I had a question, and I service people. I do quite a few things, but my main thing right now, my item is oil fragrances that I love and they're good, and the holidays are coming up. Grab you some original Egyptian musk. The link is below. I did a video on how wonderful it is. But anyway, how to start a business while you're working. And I'll come back more too, like my chit chat and things like that and talking. That's because I have a lot to say. I just have to click the camera and get on here because I met some great people. And like I said, I appreciate subscribers. Subscribe, push the subscribe button and push the bell too so you can get notifications from me when I do come on. So, any rate, decide if you want to and why. Why is your big thing because if I didn't have a why, I wouldn't have even clicked on YouTube. My why is because I want to connect. I know there's people that connect with me out there, and I want to be more social online. So the first thing to do, we're talking oil fragrances here. So I'm not, this is, you can use it in general, but I'm talking oil fragrances mostly. How to start a business while you're working with oil fragrances, because that's my specialty. The first thing to do is start wearing them. Wear your oil fragrances because I started a business out by my job. I was there 7 years. I started a business there by accident. It was an accident. It wasn't on purpose. But you're watching this video, so if you take my tips, if I did it on accident and you're doing it on purpose, you could do it way, way, way better than I did it. So start wearing them. Oil fragrances, start wearing them. Fragrances that you think are nice, start wearing them. And dress real cute. I mean, I'm not trying to be conceited, but I like to wear like cute little outfits and things like that because I love oil fragrances. I love fragrances. I was wearing perfumes. So dress cute. I mean, don't go bummy. Don't go with a bonnet on. Don't go with your hair messed up and things like that. We're talking oil fragrances. Now, if you're selling a gadget or something, or you're doing hair, or, you know, whatever you're doing, you know, fit the part. But with oil fragrances, the way I did it on accident and was successful at my job while working is I wore the oil fragrances and I was dressing up. I'm not a two-piece suit and a, you know, bangly dangly hat, but, you know, very presentable. And, you know, my smell. Say I wore Burberry Sport that day. Then, and if I dress down a little bit, like a jean something or something below my knee or something like that, I would wear like a little sporty thing. But if I wear a dress and like little pumps and heels, I'm wearing like, what am I going to wear? I might wear Jimmy Choo if I'm daring. But I'm picking a fragrance that I know people may like. I'm picking a fragrance that I know lingers. And don't be alarmed if anybody doesn't say anything, because it depends on where you work too. But if you've been working at your job for quite a while, people are nosy. They're going to say something, whether they like it or not, like, ooh, what's that smell? Or, ooh, I like that smell. Start there. Start wearing them. After you start wearing them, then you start bringing samples. Or either way, you bring samples. So when people say things, only when they say things, though. That's the key. Only when they say things. You don't say anything. When they say things, then like maybe the next day, bring samples. Don't just whip out samples like you're doing a business. Just like, oh, well, wow, that smell. Maybe I can get you some. You hint around like that. Maybe I can get you some. Play dumb. after you start wearing them and then, they're inquiring the next day, you just say, here, I had a little bit of this. I figured you'd like it. And this goes for men and women. So whoever's complimenting, who's ever saying anything to you, that's who you're, serving. That's who you're going to say something to afterwards. And then after a while, make the break room a conversation. Instead of talking about your employees and employers, because there's always somebody there that you could always talk about that's really truthful to say about them. Don't even do that. Spend time talking, and it's called marketing, actually. Just talking and conversating about the fragrances, about, what you can possibly get them. And you want to play dumb and possibly get them because you're trying to start a business while you're working. You're not trying to take over the company. You're trying to start your little business, because every business behind that is a person that created it. You might not see the boss every day, but, you guys going in and clocking in, and, me, how I used to always be late for work, and they tap me on my shoulder, okay? It was a person behind that. There was rules behind that a person made up. So that's all I'm saying. And I'll say this as an example, because I sell my oil fragrances outside, but I noticed that in the summertime, this is when I first started. Of course, nobody did anything because I go rain or shine, wintertime and everything. And I did that because I had a strong why. It was my only source of income. I loved the fragrances, and I wanted to show people, especially on Livingston with cars going by, that I was serious about what I was doing. So my hours were long, and I didn't care about the weather. I just went out anyway, regardless. But you're at your job. You're in a building. You're warm. Whatever your working conditions are. You have, the power right now where you can just, free flow. So you want to make your conversation directed specifically and purposely so you could, sell and introduce your product, but not disrespect anybody. When I first started, like I said, nobody stopped. After a while, it's like when the weather got nice and, it was like feasible outside. You could wear no shirt if you wanted to. Then everybody wanted to sell things. They would come to me, hey, could I sell my pillows? Could I sell my crochet? Things like that. And it's okay to establish a business, but not on top of anybody and not disrespecting anybody. And that's what I felt. Even though I'm outside, if you want to stand next to me, you're trying to jump off on me and get a kick off on me. Maybe you were laughing at me when I rode by, when you rode by and saw me when I first started, But, I mean, it's an adventure. But a lot of people probably were laughing. And, it's okay because I was laughing when I thought about the idea. But anywho, you starting at your job, so your conditions are, you can talk about what you want, things like that. And plus, I was like working there 7 years at my job. If you've been working at your job a long time, it should be easier. Just start wearing the fragrances. At break time, talk about the fragrances. Or they'll say stuff to you. And wear things that are alluring, too. And I can give you some ideas. If you want some ideas, make a comment below. Some things that you can wear, as far as what to wear. But wear your favorite. I started off wearing Anise Anise, and that is old. Anise Anise, but I wore it in the oil first. And to be honest, I didn't like it in the oil. I liked it in the perfume spray because the oil was more intense. It was I just didn't like it in the oils. But then I ventured off and started trying different oils and just natural, how could I say, earthy, like your patchouli. I started off smelling those, the sandalwood, your black gold, your Nag Champa, and then if you want to do like an amber white musk, or something like that. But I started off with, the pure, just the regular oils. And then the designers came in later. Anise Anise, Gucci Guilty, the movie star names, things like that. But they're all fragrances, all kind of notes combined. And then the name goes on it. But that's what you do when you want to start a business while working at your job with the oil fragrances. You decide that that's what you want to do because after that, you're focused. When you go to work, it's like you have a plan. They don't know it, but you do. You're wearing your oils. You're dressing cute, And if you dress nice anyway, who cares? But once you start wearing the oil, and that goes together anyway. Like, ooh, look at her, look at him. Wow, and he smells good too. What are you wearing? And it's a conversation. So that's right there. Then you talk about it at the break room. You bring samples the next day, you know, this and that. And then you maybe, oh, well, I'll get them for you. You make it seem like it's a favor. You're doing them a favor, but actually it's a business. Because that's what I did. I was doing my coworkers a favor, getting them oil fragrances. Worked there 10 years total and went out and was still doing oils. So that was my product because that's what I love to be around. That's what I was doing. And I started on accident. But you could do it on purpose. So I have 600 and something subscribers. And I'm happy about it. Yeah. And click the link below, how to do it in business. How do you do it in business? What do you need to know? How to do it in business. You can click the link below and treat yourself. It's holiday time. Start learning how to do things to start a business, keep a business, maintain a business, and things like that. And you don't have to have the perfect life to do it because goodness knows I don't. And we could talk about that later, like different things. What led me to stay outside? You know, why am I still doing it? Just all kinds of things. But yeah, how to start a business while working. That was a great question because I was like, wow, how do you start one by working? I did mine by accident. But hey, these tips can help them do it on purpose. But this is for people that sell oil fragrances. That's what I would do. I would wear them, I would burn them, I would just have them all around me until people say things, and then, especially in the beginning, I just say, oh, I could probably get it for you. Where do you get it from? Just one friend of mine, you know, be dishonest a little bit. You don't have to tell people every little thing, but you can start with oil fragrances at your job easily, and no disrespect. That's the main thing. If you don't take anything away from this video, whatever you start, make sure you start and stand on your own. Stand on your own. Don't bite off of anybody or try to jump off anybody because I don't think it will last that way. Because people have done it to me, like I said, outside. They want to be right on top of me and, you know, it's rude after a while. You know, it's like this big space, but you want to be over here. Like, I can, and then one couple even, they were asking, like, when I would get a customer, they say, oh, do you want to buy my pillows and this and that? And a lot of people said no, and they got angry with me. They got angry with me. They're like, oh, they're not buying my pillows because of you. Excuse me, you were buying oils from me. Now you're over here trying to sell your products. Now you're upset with me. Just stand on your own. Start wearing your fragrances, looking, you know, nice, looking your best. And when people ask you about the fragrances and you know you want to sell them, yeah, it's easily done with the fragrances. So, yeah. Thank you for subscribing to me, and thanks for watching the video. Leave me a question. I won't be too long answering the next one, but that's how you start a business while working a job, and how to do it in business. That's what it is. How to do it in business. Get that. And original Egyptian musk is always popping. I always tell people, my customers, like first-time customers, I tell them, if you want to experience the oil fragrances because you never heard of them, what you do is do your cologne, you know, and all that, and then put oil on. Start with the original Egyptian musk. Put that on and just lock the fragrance in place. Like you're gonna lock your business in place by the tips these tips right here. Start your business while you're at your job. No disrespect. Start wearing them. Start talking about them. Bring samples and things. And let me know how it goes.